So in this video, I want to talk to you about some of the things that most impress me about Filipino culture that I haven't been able to master in my own life. But first, I want to tell you about the scariest night of my life. Let's go.
Subscribe now.
So living here in the Philippines, we went through a typhoon that was just a crazy typhoon. It's called Typhoon Odette. It was a super typhoon, whatever that means. It means it's very scary. So this typhoon, there was a lot of warnings that it might come in Cebu. And before, my family had always seen different typhoons that were in Luzon and that were in Mindanao, the other two big islands, and Cebu is in the middle of all of that. And people in the Philippines used to always tell me, in Cebu, you're really safe from all those typhoons because it's sandwiched in between Luzon and Mindanao. So whenever my family would say, or friends would say, are you safe over there? I heard there's a terrible typhoon. I'd say, nothing to worry, I'm in Cebu, we're safe here. Too bad for those other people in Mindanao and Luzon because they just kind of shelter us from the typhoons. However, this typhoon said I'm just kind of gonna go like this, straight into Cebu. And I gotta say, this was the most terrifying night of my life. You can kind of start to feel the condo just kind of doing this one a little bit back and forth. And listen, I like a roller coaster ride more than anybody, but not when I'm living in the thing, you know what I mean? So the worse the wind got, the more I just kind of felt the condo going like this. And I wasn't so seasick, but I'm like, how well is this building going to hold up? California, we don't really get typhoons, but we get a lot of earthquakes. And I know that I've lived through some earthquakes in California that even though they just last maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds, the building also does a bit of this, or the homes do a bit of this. And after that, I've seen cracks in the walls, I've seen things fall over, you know, all kinds of stuff after just a very short time. So here I am sitting at home and thinking, if buildings in California, which are made to be earthquake proof, are that impacted after 10-20 seconds, how is this condo building gonna do after like hours this happened? So even after like 20 minutes of this, it was pretty scary when you thought about how well is this condo gonna hold up. It was truly one of the most terrifying nights of my life. When you're swaying like this, you just really feel very out of control. Now, what in the world does this have to do with those things that I mentioned earlier that I wanted to talk about, that are the things that I most admire about Filipinos that I still haven't been able to master in my own life? Well, those things really have to do with how Filipinos approach life. You see, I think in the US and a lot of Western cultures, we really don't like things going like this because we feel out of control. We really like things solid. I mean, like brick solid, this thing is not gonna move, it's a tank. No matter what, it's gonna be predictable, it's gonna be reliable, nothing's gonna crack, nothing's gonna go wrong. And in real life, it's not quite like that. So let me talk to you about 4 things that I really love about Filipino culture that I'm seeking to improve in my own life. First thing is that I find that Filipinos are very flexible with changes. When the building's supposed to be like this, and then it goes like this, they just kind of roll with the punches because that is really what life is like. There is movement. You want things to stay the same, you want things to be predictable, but in reality, real life isn't like that. And I find that when changes happen and foreigners start complaining like myself, Filipinos are just flexible. They're just gonna roll with the changes, roll with the punches, and life is so much easier for them than it is with me. Second thing I really see that I love about Filipinos is that they are accepting of disappointments. When things go wrong, so often in my life, I just find that I might feel a bit depressed, I might feel a bit down, I might not be accepting at all, whereas those around me here in the Philippines really are able to accept things a lot more. Sometimes my wife Grace says to me, you just gotta accept it. And those words are like nails on a chalkboard to me. I just have to accept it. Really? That just rubs against me. If I'm disappointed, I want to change things. I don't want to accept it. But I think that the less I accept things, the more unhappiness it brings about in my life. So there's something here that I need to learn as well. Third thing that I really want to be more like Filipinos are is patient with time. Now sometimes life is busy and you just got to get stuff done. But other times, a lot of the time, really, I don't know what I'm rushing about. And I find that even if it's my day off, even if I don't have anywhere particular to be, I just get so frustrated if I lose 1 second of time, 1 minute of time. And I don't know what it is about time. It's like I'm, just scrambling my whole life to not miss a second, to not miss a minute. Whereas Filipinos, time is something that is just, I don't know. I'm surprised people even wear watches here because they don't think time matters quite as much here, but it matters way too much to me. I just find that I stress over time, getting out of the house, racing to work, getting so much done, whatever it is. Time is something that I just let kind of bully me, control me, push me around, stress me out, when really I just need to let things go, do the best I can within each 24-hour day. The fourth thing that I really find here in the Philippines is that people are so slow to anger. It's almost never do I hear people arguing out loud or people shouting or yelling or cussing or any of those type of things that are just so common for me in Western cultures. People here, they just let things roll off their back. They're driving down the road and there's 2 lanes and there's a ton of traffic, and one person decides to just block one of those 2 very, super traffic lanes. People here, they just let it go. Me, my horn is my best friend. Get out of the way. Whereas I just really wonder, why do I let those things bother me so much? Why can't I be a bit more like people here? I think that when you look at happiness in life and quality of life, we often don't look at these type of characteristics of being a bit more flexible, like a building that just kind of rolls with the wind, rolls with the punches. If you do, I think it's so easy that you're not going to break, that you are going to cope with frustrations and stresses and disappointments. And so these are the things for me that I really am still struggling to be more like the people all around me here in the Philippines, but I'm hoping that I could be more and more like them in each of these areas in my life in the days to come. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch, and leave me a comment below.